we did it. We're in the final few weeks of the circus training, which means that the very next video that I post will be of our actual full performances, so I can't wait to show you that. I'm just going to give you a little disclaimer before we continue. If you are afraid of clowns or ragdolls, skip my section of training, just because I talk about the mask that I make quite a lot, and there will be a lot of photos of the mask on the screen, which if you're scared of that kind of stuff, then it might not be worth watching. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to stop talking now and give you a lovely video montage of everybody else training for our final showcase. See you later.
And now we've made it to my training. So again, if you are scared of clowns, ragdolls, masks, then maybe just skip this part. I don't think it's that bad, but it's, you know, just in case you are really triggered by that kind of stuff. But first, here's me and my lovely mermaid routine. I will have the tail on for the actual performance, but this is just practicing. Anyway, here we are. So this is the mask with just skin paint on, so just skin colour to make her look a little bit less pale. Then we tried to mark in where our eyes would be. Next up, we painted her, and I quite like her face. I think she looks quite sweet at the moment. Maybe not with the hair that she's got. So that's when we started adding in more hair. So I used some red yarn and I just stuck an embroidery needle through the latex of her head. This took a very, very long time, and then we started braiding it into two cute little braids. And here you can see me in the full costume and outfit, and I'm going to shut up now so that you can see the rehearsals for the actual performance.
I can't.
Okay, I know I said I'd shut up, but really quick, this is a part where I actually slapped Aaron in the face. Did you see that? Right in the face. I felt terrible. I'm so sorry, Aaron. I hope you're okay. So I'm just going to come back in again because this mask is just so funny to me. I tried explaining how I made it in a little video and showed what it looked like on the inside. So you can tell that it's a Momo mask. Just look at that. Look at that. It's so scary and creepy. It's the fact that you know whose mask it is from the inside, and oh, thank God we covered it up on the outside, but she's still such a creepy mask. Yeah, I'm trying to explain it there, but honestly I think you don't need to hear all of that. But we have braided her hair now, so she's got plenty of hair that's now braided into cute little braids. And I'm going to stop talking now because I did try filming some talking and this lovely moment happened, which I thought was hilarious. So here you go. Okay, so I'm just done conditioning and I am very tired. After conditioning I had a call with my mum, we sorted through some stuff at home, and yeah, now I'm tired. So all I'm going to do now is wash all of this off, have a little bit of a clean. Isn't she terrifying? She's just there. Like, when it's dark like this, it's really dark outside, and I just open the van to see that just chilling in the background. It is so scary. I'm not a fan of that at all. But soon she'll be done and she'll be sitting in the front. I won't have her in here anymore because I just look at her. She's so scary. Anyway. And I have done the majority of her in the interval. Woo! She's so close. She's supposed to look like me. Can you see the resemblance? Okay, so after that lovely nightmare fuel, we're moving on to what we did in our free time. So Aaron became good friends with one of the circus performers, Seb, and they started trying to learn how to do duo juggling, like side by side, and it definitely did not take over 20 tries to get it right. Definitely didn't take over 20 tries. And I definitely promised them that I would delete all of the times that it didn't work. So that's what I did. I deleted every single video where they failed, and promised them that no one would ever see it. No one will ever see all of the times that they failed at trying to get this trick. I promised them. That's how good a friend I am.
This is it, Lauren, right?
Okay. Woo! So in our free time we also got to go to karaoke. So this little pub runs karaoke every Sunday, so we got to go, but it was definitely an older scene. There were a lot of older members there who I think are quite used to having, you know, singing the same songs every week and not having a bunch of young people come and dance on the stage and cause a bit of a ruckus. So I don't think they were too happy with us being there, but we had a wonderful time nonetheless. We were there with Amelia, who's one of the other circus performers, but she's not actually on the course. She became a very good friend of ours. And a lovely story came out of it, so I'm going to let past Lauren tell you this story.
And last night, this guy came up to our table and was like asking about us because we'd been singing and stuff. So he asked what all of our names are. And when it got to Andrea, John goes, "This is Miss Andrea." And he went, "Oh." And they told him that she was born in Germany, which she was, to be fair, but she is English. And one girl just turns to him and goes, "She doesn't speak much English." So the entire night, this guy genuinely thought that Andrea didn't speak a word of English. And so I ran out of time. So he kept looking over at her throughout the night, seeing her just sat by herself watching completely silent. He's like, and he just keeps going, "Oh, the poor girl. She probably doesn't understand what's going on at all." Meanwhile, she can obviously understand everything that he's saying. It was very funny. There was one part where I literally handed her my phone so that she could film some my friend singing. And he turned to Amelia, her friend, and went, "Does she know how to use it? Does she understand?" And Amelia's like, "Yeah, she knows how to use a phone, and she can speak a little bit of English." Yeah, that was very funny.
Alright, future me again. That is the end of our training. Woohoo, we did it! But it's not the end of the video because after all of the training and the showcase, me, John and Andrew decided to stay on in the circus, and I've got a bunch of videos and stuff of what happened next, so I am going to put a little bit of that in the end. We're not going to get all of it because this was like a solid 4 or 5 months of footage, so we might do a little bit, but I think it would be nice to show what we did after the circus, so that's really exciting. Aaron did not stay. That's just because Aaron was quite successful as a children's entertainer before coming to the circus, and he felt that it was just more right for him to continue doing that and then join the circus later. So it's actually really exciting because Aaron now works for like Disney, which is amazing, and I know that he's actually practicing a knife throwing act at the moment, so and actually, now that we're in the future, I might as well tell you that John and Andrea are still in the circus, which is really exciting. Andrea stayed with Russell's and is doing lots of aerial stuff, and John has gone to another circus doing aerial as well, which is so exciting. And as for me, I now live in Australia and I'm a nanny for a child, so we all went very different ways. Anyway, here we go. What happened after the circus? Please enjoy.
Well, that's it. After the showcase, we were all very, very relieved for it to be over, as you can see Andrea here, but John still had one last surprise. He had been talking about wearing this magic outfit the entire way through the course, and so he popped out and surprised everybody when it was all over. But after that, our training was not finished, so I kept training the hula hoops to try and get better at it and eventually create a routine. I also started training in the Wheel of Death. So Seb, the guy that did the Wheel of Death in the main show, he wouldn't let us go on it whilst we were just training for the showcase because his insurance didn't cover that, but as soon as our course was finished, we were allowed to start training on it. So here I am practicing the Wheel of Death. I loved this thing. It was so much fun, but it really hurts your legs after a while. You'd be surprised how much muscle power you need. These videos are also sped up, so I'm actually going to show you just how slow I was going when I first started here. And of course, in our free time when we weren't doing shows, we were going to karaoke as per usual, except this time not in the place where all the other people didn't want us there. We found a lovely place where anyone could sing whatever they wanted, and since I didn't have a video of me singing in the last one, here you can hear me singing just a little bit.
I love the nightlife, I've got to boogie on the disco run, yeah. Oh, I love the nightlife, I've got to boogie on the disco run, yeah.
We also went to the arcades a lot, and me and Amelia met some lovely people that encouraged us to spend as much time on the 2p machines as possible, and we won so much stuff. Oh, I felt like a princess. It was amazing.
So today's show's been interesting. On top of only having like 10 people in the audience, I had a whole like family of Scottish people come up to me on my face painting counter, and I originally was like, who wants to be Spider-Man? And the first kid came up and was like, I don't want to be Spider-Man, I want to be Batman. No, I want to be Thor. So I'm like, okay, sure you don't want to be Spider-Man? And he's like, nope, definitely want to be Thor. So I'm like, all right, I don't know how to do Thor, so I'm gonna Google Thor. If you're so desperate to be him, I'm gonna Google Thor, and we'll do that. So I find an easy Thor face paint, and I'm like, we're gonna do this for you. And he's like, can I see the other options? I'm like, okay. So I show him all the other options, and he chooses one, and we do his face painting like Thor. So he ends up having a helmet and a mustache and a beard. Fine. Another kid comes along, and so then another kid comes along who's quite nice. He's immediately like, I want to have the number 10 on me. And I'm like, why? And he says it's because it's the number of his favourite football player from Argentina. And I'm like, okay, cool. Would you like just a 10 on your cheek, or would you like lots of 10s everywhere? And his parents all start going, oh, you don't want a 10. A 10's like really boring if you just have the black letter 10s. What if you were to do, like, because it's Argentina, why don't you have a blue on one side, a white on the other, that kind of thing? Almost like a Braveheart thing as well, because they're all Scottish. And he's like, no, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, why don't you have a think about it, and I'll paint somebody else while you think about what you want. So this other kid comes up, and he's immediately like, I want to be Captain America. I'm like, cool, I can do that. I can do Captain America, no problem at all. So I do Captain America for him. This other kid comes back, and they decide that they're going to go for white and blue stripes here with the number 10 on top. Fine, easy peasy, no problem, that's your favourite footballer. Then the final kid comes along and goes, I want CR7 with a red. I don't know how much of that was caught, but yeah, the last kid comes up, wants CR7 with a red background because it's Cristiano Ronaldo, and that was all he wanted. Not okay, sound, no problem at all. So just made 16 quid doing 2 footballers and 2 superheroes on face painting. What a day.
So while we're talking about face painting, I wanted to mention that on doors I would often practice my designs on my arms, and the owner's son would come and help me as well. He'd do some little designs on my arm too. So after a while I bought him a pumpkin so he could practice his stuff on there. And there was one day when my rabbit unfortunately passed away, so he very sweetly took the pumpkin to the side and painted a white rabbit on it for me. It's just the sweetest little thing that a kid could do, and I really, really appreciate that. That brought me to tears before the show started. That kid was also in our children's show that we would do during the summer. I've deliberately cropped him out because obviously he is still quite young, so I don't want his face on the internet. Yeah. The children's show was great fun. So I was actually the host for this, which was brilliant. That's why we're wearing these beautiful red coats. And we did a fair few acts in it. So I did the ragdoll act in it. I sang as some lovely characters, which I'm not going to show for copyright reasons. And we did this really, really fun routine with a dragon, and I'm going to show you it sped up. Obviously the kid is in this, but I'm going to try and cut him out as much as I physically can.
A big, scary dragon has just walked into the tent, looking through all your bits and bobs. What are you going to do? Did you hear anything? Okay. A big, scary dragon has just run into the tent, ready to gobble up all the little people in the audience. What are you all going to do? Oh, that's more like it, isn't it?
And the last exciting thing that happened after our showcase was that I got trained to do a lot more in the knife throwing act, which was so exciting. So the main woman who normally does the knife throwing act had to go away for a week, so she tried training me up on some of the tricks so that I could take her place during that week that she was away, and I loved it. I was also really lucky because this happened to be the week that my sister came to visit me, so she got to take a whole video of me doing it, and she was terrified the entire time. So please enjoy my version of the knife throwing act. That it was the last day today. Well, I wasn't emotional about it until just now. Like, just kind of been doing everything, having a great time. But then the guy who used to run the face painting stall, and I've been doing it, he came up to me and he was like, you know what, you've been really good, thank you so much for doing this. I was like, no worries. And he was like, no, but you've been really good in the schools as well, you've been good across the board, you've been really good, so please, if you ever want to come back, you know that you can. I was like, oh, you know what, now I'm all emotional. I'm so sad. I don't want to go. I was so ready to go the other day, but now I'm kind of it's going to be sad to say goodbye. But hey ho, we'll be back in a year. In a year's time, I'll be back in the circus. Hopefully.
Okay, so I wasn't going to do an outro, but watching all that back, I'm really sad. And I do really miss it. And as I said in that, hopefully we'll be back in a year. So I think, yeah, before this all finishes, I just want to say thank you again to everyone at Russell's International Circus for letting us all take part in the course. It was so much fun. It was the opportunity of a lifetime, I guess you could say. And thanks to everyone that was on the course for making it so special. I don't think it would have been the same if it was with other people. And big thank you to Matt Ryan for training us, for, oh my god, he trained us, he helped make costumes with us, whilst he was also working in the circus doing, it can't even begin to describe how busy he would have been and how grateful I am for what he did. So thank you so much for all of that. I'm gonna go cry now. Yeah, right. That's really put a downer on my day, but hey ho. as I said, the next video is literally just going to be of the performance, so I hope you really enjoy it, and I'm not going to talk at all the entire way through, so see you soon.